Welcome to the Utah Story Show. Glad to be back with you. I had to take a little break from podcasting because we had to get this issue out. And like a lot of small businesses right now, we are struggling to fill key positions. We cannot keep up with demand. We're back to monthly again, and we can't find delivery drivers. So we're having a difficult time. Got very busy, and I want to talk about the labor shortage. How it is just absolutely insane. We are bankrupting our country so people can stay home and sit on their couch. Seriously, that's what's going on right now. Unemployment benefits have been extended through September. We are facing a massive labor shortage. All small business owners are now competing against the government for employees. It's just, I just can't believe the situation we're in. Going to go into more detail about that on the show today. Also going to be talking about the restaurant closures. Two of our favorite restaurants in Salt Lake City, Blue Plate Diner and Coachmans, are closed now. Many more restaurants have closed. Very sad to see this happen because I just think the tapestry of our social fabric is woven by local restaurants and local food. We cannot lose so much of the local food and local restaurants in our communities, because otherwise, what do we have to feel proud of for in our communities? I mean, you think about it, obviously our parks are awesome, but you take away the restaurants and bars, you take away local food, you take away our farmers, what is there? We just going to fill our communities full of chain stores and chain drive-through restaurants? We got to support our locals again. That's been a heavy call out. So I'm going to talk about a labor shortage, and then I'm going to do the beginning of probably a two-part episode on the culture wars being fought here in Utah locally as well as nationally. It's a very big issue, very big show, tons of content I have, and I'm going to try to just cram it all into the next 25 minutes. I hope you can listen to the whole thing because it's a very important show that we got for you today. All right, so want to get into very, very quickly why we produce this show, the mission and the purpose. The problem I see in the major media networks today, as well as a lot of outlets, is that everybody is repeating the same talking points. They're all adhering to the same talking points. They're hearing from CNN, from the New York Times, what they should say and how they should characterize things. And then rather than independently investigate those things, our local news outlets are repeating those things. I pointed that out kind of in the last episode on Burgess Owens, how they're calling the requirement to have a ID when you go and vote. They're calling that voter suppression laws, and they're calling that Jim Crow 2.0. And Burgess Owens called him out on that. And then our local media started to say that he's equivalent to a KKK member because he was disparaging about the our immigration, our borders essentially being open, and saying we don't want people flooding our borders. So watch that episode. Get a hand up on what's going on. But let's get into again why we do this. So the journalism, I believe, when I went to school, was supposed to be about finding objective truth. And when you're a journalist and a reporter, your goal is to go in and get a story, find the truth of that story, and then report on what you find. And I believe that's just gone away. And I've been trying to figure out, why has that gone away? And I think that what happens is, I mean, all these people want to be pundits and commentators and op-ed writers, and you find it on Facebook. It's like, those people usually have been reporters for 20 years before they get to write in the op-ed section. And even then, who cares about your opinion? Really, why should anybody care about my opinion or his opinion or her opinion unless they have unique insight, individual insight? But the way the news networks have changed to just these opinionated platforms with underlying objectives of what they want to achieve, it's made me believe that we just have to get back to truth in reporting. We have to get back to objective reality, objective facts. And that's really the major mission of this podcast. We want to be on the tip of the spear of societal evolution. We want to help you navigate the world of Utah in the context of everything that's happening around us. And that's really what I want to do. And I'm happy to get back to it because I've missed reporting and doing the podcast for 2 weeks. So let's get into the restaurant closures. Very sadly, the Blue Plate Diner is closed. Oh man, this place, I had so many fun breakfasts, lunches here, meetings here. It's on the corner of a very busy block in Sugar House, 21st and 21st. And one of our very first stories, written by Anand Rao, one of our very first issues, was called Sunshines and Smiles on a Hot Plate, and it was a reporting on the Blue Plate Diner. This was a true community gathering place where everybody went to just sort of connect with the community. This was a story we did on them in April 2014. These were the founders, John Bozak and Tamarika. I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing this name. Kavitshalvi and Joe Mendel. But they got this incredible counter. They got this incredible vibe going. Excellent food. Diners, drive-ins, and dives visited them. Why would they close? They had this incredible property right on the corner of an incredibly busy block, just like a quarter mile from Sugar House Park, one of the most beautiful parks in Utah. And obviously they got a huge offer for the property. And they're like, do we want to deal with trying to hire more dishwashers, just like I'm trying to deal with trying to hire more drivers? Or should we just take this giant paycheck and cash out? And they decided to cash out. I think they had plenty of customers. And then the other one to close is Coachmans. And Coachmans, man, it was like when I was in my early 20s and we'd been up all night going to bar hopping or, having fun. This is the place you'd go for breakfast. And just you could get a massive amount of food for very cheap. And I love the place. And they were one of our first advertisers in Utah Stories magazine. And very sad to see that this is now no longer. And, so Salt Lake City is definitely a lesser place without these amazing places. And, this is nationwide. So what's going on nationwide is 17% of restaurants have closed. Local restaurants have closed due to COVID. And this is just terrible because like I said, what do you have if you don't have your restaurants and your local food? So I wanted to compare it to what's going on with fast food and drive-thrus. They're actually doing incredibly well. The ordering surged during the pandemic. Everybody's going to places like Chick-Fil A. Chick-Fil A is the highest grossing outlet in the entire country. Starbucks is next, and McDonald's, KFC, Taco Bell, Burger King. They're all doing incredibly well. If you want to buy stocks right now in restaurants, they're saying that this national chain, Texas Roadhouse and Dominoes Pizza, are doing amazingly well, as is Starbucks. But it's like the local coffee shop is so much more valuable as a place to go and meet people and to interact with than any of these chains. And I don't know what can be done other than the government getting out of the way. I mean, I guess in Utah, at least, we have lifted our mask mandate in Salt Lake County. That's great. But nationwide, all these restaurants are struggling. And I wanted to get a handle on how many places in Utah closed that I know about. Other ones are Canelas. Another one I saw that's going to be closing soon, or just all these. It seems like these little sit down places that were great for breakfast, and just very small intimate places, because to navigate the world of the PPP loans, as we reported in the past, the money never got to the smallest places because you need sophisticated accountants. You need a banker willing to help you. And the bankers and the accountants, they work with the bigger companies, the places that have like a few locations, and they can spend a lot more in their accounting services. And this idea that the PPP and EIDL was going to bail out all the smallest of the small businesses has just proven to be a complete failure. So it's very sad to see this. Wall Street Journal has written all about this, how so many local businesses have closed, and that McDonald's, Chipotle, and Domino's are booming during coronavirus while your neighborhood restaurant struggles. And so the Wall Street Journal reports that the coronavirus business is splitting the industry into two well-capitalized chains like Chipotle, Domino's, and then everybody else who doesn't have the capital and just can't keep their doors open, can't keep going. So this brings me to the labor shortage that we're suffering right now. The Democrats and Joe Biden, and unfortunately a lot of the people in this country, believe that the job of the government is to give you free money so you don't have to work, so you don't have to struggle, so you don't have to feel pain. That totally defies the whole spirit of being an American, in my opinion. COVID has been difficult for everybody. COVID has made it difficult to talk to people in public or go to public places. And to think that so many people just want to stay home, just want to collect that check every month. I went to Moab to do this route. I go to the main Moab Park. Surrounding the entire park are people living the van life. They have these tricked out vans, these young people. I really wanted to find out how many of you are getting free money from the government right now, saying you're looking for a job. Because let me describe to you how it works. The way it works is I'll put a job up, I'll get 20 applicants. Out of those 20, about 4 give me a reason why they want to work for me. Those 16 who applied for the job who didn't actually want to respond? Those people are promising to the Unemployment Administration that they're looking for work. And through that promise, they keep getting their benefits extended. And for that reason, they're sitting home while I'm working hard, while all these small businesses are working hard, and we're subsidizing their lifestyle. I think it's about time we got pissed off at these people, first of all, and pissed off that our government isn't doing a better job checking that these people are actually looking for jobs. I would like to provide to the Unemployment Administration the 14 people who say they applied for my open driver position, who never bothered to respond when I said to them, okay, well, tell me why you believe you're a good fit for this job. They never responded, those 14. They just said, I tried, I didn't get the job. Give me a mechanism, Unemployment Administration, to report those people that they didn't actually look for jobs. They just pretended to look for jobs. They're doing that all over. My friends who run restaurants, who run hotels, small hotels, they cannot staff their positions. It's even as bad as we go to the Westin in Lake Las Vegas. The Westin cannot find people to clean rooms. The Westin is a major publicly traded company. They cannot find people to clean rooms. There are plenty of people out there, but they're collecting checks, they're staying home, and they're bankrupting this country. We are faced with an incredible amount of national debt, an insurmountable amount. We are now faced with coming inflation, a coming economic crisis. That's really what this issue points out, how you can prepare for this coming crisis. But we're all just standing by watching it happen, doing nothing about it. So if you have some ideas, maybe we do a petition. Maybe as small business owners, we band together and share the names of the people who are falsifying their job prospecting by wasting our time. I'd like to report that, because to say that I need to pay now, what, 23, 24, 25 bucks an hour to have people deliver the magazine, it's insane. And I just wanted to come out and say that on this episode. And it's affecting local restaurants who cannot find dishwashers, who can't find servers. It's affecting our entire economy, which absolutely should be back on fire by now. But the government is absolutely stifling and burdening the most scarce aspect and component of any economy, which is the workforce. And so with that, I'm going to leave the episode at that. I'm going to do another segment either today or tomorrow, talking about the culture war. I didn't want to get too much into that right now. And then I also want to talk about Bears Ears and the Armenian genocide. I have a lot of content. 5-6 years of failed homeless policy in Salt Lake City that we've been covering from the beginning. We put that story up. That story performed incredibly well last week. I'm going to talk more about that. So we've got a lot more content I'm going to be sharing with you. And again, if you like the show, go out to utahstories.com, subscribe to the Voice of Local Utah. This is a little bit about our Utah Stories Night. You'll find out when we have our Utah Stories Nights. Very fun way to interact with your community. Put your email right in there. Whoa there, Tiger, and let's do this. And we will send you one single email a week, and we will unsubscribe you if you don't open it. So thanks for watching. Support our sponsors at the bottom in the description. Our sponsors are the Green Pig Pub, Green Bikes, and Canyon Meadows Grass-Fed Beef. Click on their links in the description below, or go visit our website and click on their ads on the website. All right, see you next time. Thanks for hanging out.